in my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life. I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, golden. You're the light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden. You're the light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. You're perfect, you're golden. You're my light, my love. You're perfect, you're golden. You're my light, my love, my love. Light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it, light it, light it. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt. When I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other. You're perfect, you're golden. You're perfect, you're golden.
Be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. A brand new day. A sunny day. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Oh yeah. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. But that's okay, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, don't worry. It's not the end. It's not the end. If you don't like the government, it's alright. It's not the end. It's not the end. This is the end.
I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. For the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. Greater good of all, greater good of all.
It had no peace till I found God. It was a missing part of me till I found God. There was nothing else to see till I found
just a mess till I found God. I didn't know no happiness till I found God. Now there's nothing else I need.
today.
I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So what does that mean to you sitting at home, watching on Facebook later tonight, through the week, watching old episodes? We are 10 different faith perspectives along with 10 different positive musical artists or acts. We give them one-word topics. If we line 10 of those up in a row, we call it a series. Each group, the speakers send in a 25 minutes, a half hour talk, and the musicians send in 2 videos. We say hello and goodbye, send all that to Philip, and he creates a magical Sunday service, which you are now watching. You can join us in this endeavor at www.peopleofdiversity.org. Find the donate button on that page and mash down on it, and move as you're directed. Whatever tithe, offering, donation you care to give, whether it be a consistent weekly one or a monthly or just a one-time donation, we are grateful for however you want to participate.
So we are currently on the topic of freedom, and last week was Sensei Dave Vidito from the Open Mind Zen Center. He gave an excellent talk, and his musical guest was Daniel Capel. Today we have our Wiccan representative Oracle, and his musical guest is our sister we love dearly, Donna Frost. And next week will be our Native American representative, Will Davis. And his musical guests will be Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. So, past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook page or group. You can go to either one of those and find those there in the live or in the video sections. And after the morning service from 11:45 until 12:15, we do a live Zoom deep dive, where sometimes the speaker can make it and sometimes they can't. But regardless, we get on there and chat and look at each other and check in and discuss the message. It's really good. It's very enjoyable. And we keep it right to 30 minutes. We end right at 12:15 so that not to steal any of your afternoon on Sunday. There is a second broadcast of the morning service. Will be at 5:45 p.m. on Sunday evening. And that is also on Facebook Live. And you can get these notifications about these Facebook services, but you have to go to the People of Diversity group or page and ask to get in. And once you do that, you'll get notifications on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon that the services are getting ready to start. And it makes it easy. You just push the button. So, each week we bless a country. So if you have pictures, fun facts, stories, personal experiences, rumors, I don't care, about the country that we are blessing next week, then send them to the email address below and we will use them in our country blessing. I was just kidding about the rumors. So next week is, and yeah, I might even take rumors for this one because I know nothing about this one. Next week is Gabon. This week is France. Yeah. So France is located in Western Europe. It's about the same size as Texas, and it has 68 million people. Ooh, goodness. There's 63% Christian, 24% classified as no religion, and 9% Muslim. France is the most visited country in the world with 89 million people visiting each year. Wow, that's more than the entire population of the country. 89 million people visit France every year. The Louvre Museum in Paris is the largest art museum in the world and also the most visited. If you spent 30 seconds looking at each piece of art, it would take 100 days to get through the entire museum. Yeah, no kidding. Escargot, snails, is considered a delicacy. On average, every person in France eats 500 snails per year. Woo! Since 2016, this is really cool, I like this. Since 2016, supermarkets are required to donate food to food banks that they would otherwise typically be throwing away. And as a result, about 45,000 pounds of food are being donated every year.
Wow.
How cool is that?
We got time.
Yeah, no kidding. Speaking of food, 2 new cookbooks are published every day in France. 2 new cookbooks. Okay. Tin cans, the hair dryer, and the hot air balloon were all invented in France. And here's our last fact. The oldest documented person in the world was from France. Her name was Jean Louise Calment. She lived to be 122 years and 164 days old.
Mm.
Wow. And that's documented. So let's hold the people of France in our hearts, knowing they want the same things in their lives that we want in ours. Peace, tranquility, longevity, abundance. We hold them in our hearts and we say these words together. May peace prevail in France. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Okay, you're up.
Miss Donna Frost. She always promises me she's going to come from the backyard, so I hope she's there this time. It was a little chilly last time, or hot.
Hot.
It was hot.
It's hot.
It was too hot last time. Perhaps we just left North Carolina, so perhaps she gets a little bit of time outside this time. You'll love her. You'll love her approach to music and to how she's playing with us. And she'll be in Florida very soon, in Tampa and Jacksonville. So if you have a chance, go and see her. Along with her is Oracle. He is our Wiccan representative, and he is amazing, funny, brilliant, very present, very in the now. And I know that you'll enjoy both of them. So without further ado, we'll see you on the other side.
Hi everybody, Donna Frost coming to you from our house in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And giving you a little bit of Tennessee beauty. We had some storms a while ago and it sounded like it was going to fire up again, but I'm hoping I get through all this before I get rained on. Because I know Scott and Becky enjoy getting to see all the beauty from home. See my crepe myrtles back there? Don't they look pretty? They're coming out. Dragon's breath. This plant does awesome in the heat. Seriously. Got it at Lowe's, just so you know. But anyway, I've been out in the desert, out at Joshua Tree out in California, recording my new album, The Beautiful Unseen, and it was a very spiritual, very moving, very wonderful trip. You're going to love this album, and I can't wait to get it out there. And so more to come on that. But right now, we're going to talk about our topic for today, which is freedom. I have 2 songs for you, 2 different kinds of freedom. This song is called What Once Was Mine. I wrote this with my cousin Carol Warren, and this was inspired by, I used to play down in St. George Island, Florida a lot, and it was a very therapeutic, healing place for me because I was going through some pretty crazy personal stuff at the time, and so those walks on the beach healed me, and I took back my life. So this is freedom from the demons of the past, and this is called What Once Was Mine. I cast these memories out to sea, bid farewell to misery. Somehow soul. I'm learning how to take control. This is where I draw the line. I'm taking back what once was mine. What was mine, where it all began. All I need to make is sing and sing. Watch dreams crash against our shore. That's not me anymore. I walk away and not look back. Got my self-respect intact. Got the ties that used to bind. Taking back what once was mine. What was mine, where it all began. All I need to name is sing and sing. Watch dreams crash against our shore. That's not me anymore. I walk away, I look back. Got my self-respect intact. Got the ties that used to bind. I'm taking back what once was mine. Got the ties that used to bind. Taking back what once was mine. There we go, taking back what once was mine. And self-empowerment is a wonderful thing. And this next song that I'm going to do, got to get my ukulele out for this one. I'm giving you a little bit of everything today. And double check my tuning because I care. Because we don't want out of tune. There we go. Alright, so this song is from my new album, my all ukulele album called Thankful, which some of you have bought, and I appreciate it so much, and it's doing well. And I really had a lot of fun making that record here in Tennessee with my friend Mike Shrimp, and everybody's really enjoying these songs, and it's just some uplifting, good stuff for you. So this is Freedom from Ageism. Just something we all have to go through. There's no escaping it. And like we always say, it's better than the alternatives. If you're getting old, hey, you're lucky you're still here. It's all good, you know. I learned long ago to embrace getting older. I always tell how old I am. I don't care who knows. I quit dyeing my hair several years ago, and I have not had a facelift or any other plastic surgery, nor will I. Like Skeeter Davis always said, I'm living with what the good Lord gave me, and I'm not going to change anything. So I'm embracing being older. So this song is song that I wrote about getting older. It's for women. It's for older women. It's our song. This is Girls Just Want to Have Fun for Older Women. Okay. So this is called What's She Doing Today? Freedom from Ageism. She's never been predictable. You can't call her life mundane. She takes that as a compliment when you tell her she's insane. She marches to her own drum beat, throws caution to the wind. She refuses to accept defeat, and she won't get fooled again. Her days are growing shorter, but she's still living fast. You won't see her reminiscing or dwelling in the past. One thing is for certain, you'll never hear them say, she's such a sweet old lady, they say. What's she doing today? She lived from the time she was a girl. what she doing today. She gladly let her hair turn gray. She wears the wrinkles with a smile. She's not ashamed to tell her age. She has the spirit of a child. Her days are growing shorter, but she's still living fast. You won't see her reminiscing or dwelling in the past. One thing is for certain, she does things her own way. She likes to keep them guessing, is what she's doing today. She likes to keep them guessing, is what she's doing today. And I timed that just right because it's starting to rain here. So have a blessed morning. Happy to be a part of your service today, and we'll see you next time. Love you all.
Hi there. This is Oracle Hecatios. I want to thank you all for joining me and inviting me, to your homes today. I hope we will be in a learning experience together. I want to thank Becky and Scott and People of Diversity for hosting me. And I'd like to thank Philip and his team. I'd like to thank our musical singer, our musical guest, and what a powerful time we are having today. The topic of freedom is so important right now. It is integral to who we are as a people, as a society, and as as human beings, who we are and what we are. So my name is Oracle. I am a witch. I'm representing Wicca in our slot of interfaith ministers. I do not speak for all Wiccans when I speak of the craft, as it is normally called, or as it can be called. The craft has no pope, has no overarching council. We have no statement of beliefs. We are simply people who wish to worship our gods, the goddess and the horn god, in the comfort of our homes or wherever we may be, in the woods or beneath the moon, or celebrating the seasonal cycles in the mysteries of their grace. And we all have different opinions. We all have different experiences. And that is what makes the religion so fruitful and so wonderful to be a part of. So what I will speak on today is just my interpretation of craft liturgy and craft philosophy. And many will share it, many will not share it, and that's okay. We can have talks around the cauldron late at night about it. So without further ado, let us go into the topic. Freedom is, what is freedom? It is to me, one of our tenets in Wicca is that we should be liberated from society, a society that oppresses us, because the witch is a marginalized figure. It is an oppressed figure. The history of the word witch comes with it a heavy connotation of oppression and prejudice and bigotry, and mostly against women. A lot of misogyny, but there is also the underlying power struggle between the rich, the elite, and the poor, the outlaws. Central to our story is the story of Aradia. Aradia is she is a messianic figure that is very much tied to the craft. And I say messianic figure because that's what she is. She is a figure that came to Earth to liberate humanity through witchcraft. Her story begins in Italy in the 14th century or thereabouts. And she is said simultaneously to be both the embodiment of the goddess Diana, who is called the goddess of witchcraft, the goddess of witches, the queen of the witches. Not just Hecate, but Diana. Diana was also originally called the queen of witches. And simultaneously the daughter of Diana and Diana's consort Apollo. And Apollo went by the title Lucifer. Lucifer meaning light bearer, the one who brings light. Not the same as the archangel, but Lucifer and Apollo, Lucifer, the Roman name, God name of the morning star, where the imagery entered Christianity. It was against Apollo. And Aradia, in the 14th century, when she was born, she went about preaching witchcraft, the craft of liberty, the craft of political fighting. And I've often, when I wrote a blog post not too long, few years back during the Black Lives Matter movement about #WeAreAradia. And the reason I wrote that blog is because Aradia represents, at her core, the powers of the witch to bestow upon society the marginalized, the oppressed, the outlaws, the poor, the power to fight back against the oppressor. And I don't mean just through hexing, cursing, but through liberty of the self, through self-awareness, through personal power, claiming your personal power, and using the forces that are gifted to us by the goddess in order to change our reality, change our trajectory, change our destiny, and tell the elite where to go and what to do when they get there. Aradia gave a charge. It's called the Charge. And this has been adapted into a sacred liturgy into Wicca called the Charge of the Goddess, which is similar but has differences with Aradia and with her charge. But there is some stanzas which are similar. And the stanzas go, "And ye shall be free from slavery. And as a sign that ye be truly free, you shall be naked in your rights, and you will dance, sing, and make music and love, all in my praise." Those stanzas tell us a lot about what the goddess expects of her followers, her witches. That we would be free from slavery, slavery of the mind, slavery of self, and slavery of society. Literal and metaphorical. And this notion, this idea of slavery and what it represents, this persecution, this heavy caricature of torture, of being told what you can and cannot do with your body, what you can and cannot do in the privacy of your bedroom, how you can be used by society. It is most oppressive. It is most totalitarian. And in her time period, the church, and nothing against Christianity, but you have to understand the time period. This was 14th century, High Middle Ages. Catholic church and state were united. And the church was very oppressive. Christianity was very oppressive because it united with the elites. And when united with the elites, it created a system of serfdom. Whereby there was land ownership by the elites and the poor worked only to suffer in their work and gain little to no reward. And all they were taught was that the reward would be in the afterlife for their suffering. Oh, don't worry, you'll be rewarded later on. You may be suffering now, plague and dearth and economic setbacks, but your reward will be in the afterlife. And that's what you should look forward to. The times in the past are echoing in the present. So we have a lot to look to for our spiritual and physical ancestors, for the path that is laid before us. In that, the next stanza tells us not just to be free from slavery, but we shall be naked in our rights. Now, some have interpreted this metaphorically, saying we shall be naked in our hearts, we shall be vulnerable, we will be exposed one to the other. But Aurelia meant it literally. We will be naked in our rituals, because the church taught modesty to women, that they were to cover up, that they were the temptation to man, that they were to keep their hair up, everything clothed, do not reveal a thing. And then here comes Aurelia, and here comes Diana saying, no, in your rituals, you're going to be naked. And today, many witches practice what's called skyclad, which is nudity in rituals. And it's not sexual orgies or anything like that. We don't do that. It's naturism. It is sacred. And you'll find this in any book. I'm not saying anything that's a secret. There's no shame in nudity between consenting adults. And it's for this reason and other things that Wicca does not initiate anybody under the age of 18. Must be an adult. Some will do 18, some 21, some 25. But you must be an adult. Skyclad, or nudity in rituals, harkens back to this commandment, if you will, this encouragement, this exhortation that we will be free from the boundaries of our dysmorphia, of our societal expectations of clothing, of our various statuses in life, our various stations, whether we rich or poor. We are all one. And there's an artist named Albert Dürer, and he was a German artist, and he painted a famous painting called The Four Sorceresses. Well, it's called The Four Sorceresses. And it shows four women in various who are nude in various styles of their hairs. Their hair is all in various different styles, and the hairstyles of time show and demonstrate their different station. But they're all nude beneath the moon. No matter their station, they are one. We are all human beings. There is a lot of freedom in knowing that we don't have to be slaves to fashion, to expectations, to criticism, to negative ideologies. There is freedom, especially for women who are told, cover up. You're tempting man. In the goddesses' rituals, you are free. And you will dance and sing and make music and love all in her praise. For all acts of love are her rituals. All acts of love and pleasure are her rituals. And this is important to understand. In a time of arranged marriages, in a time of oppressive ritual from the church, where the emphasis was on merely continuous salvation to the Eucharist and the afterlife, the goddess tells us to enjoy life to the fullest. Freedom from fear. To enjoy your life to the fullest, to enjoy your life here and now. To dance and sing and make music and love all in her praise. And it's not just for cisgender hetero people, because all acts of love and pleasure are her rituals. She is present in lovemaking. She is present in intimacy and in sensuousness and sensuality. Wicca is a religion of sensuous spirituality, where we celebrate the physical, because the physical and the spiritual are inseparable. They are one. They are a matrix of unity, a symbiosis. They intertwine. Freedom in this day and age is about you telling yourself what you can do with your agency. No one else can. It is about you claiming your personal power. It is about you embodying your inner god and goddess. It is about you awakening your heart, awakening your mind, and awakening your spirit to all that is around you, and to not allow yourself to be a slave to anything other than your highest ideal, because the goddess again tells us in the charge. She says, keep pure your highest ideals. Strive ever towards it. Let not turn you aside. Your highest ideals are blessed by her. She says, keep your highest ideals. Keep your vision for yourself, your vision for your personal power, your vision for who you are and your agency and your personal responsibility, because you're responsible for yourself only at times. At times, you know, a lot of times parents are responsible for their children, or we're responsible for the elderly, or responsible on our jobs. But when it comes to our private lives, also we are responsible for ourselves, not just our children, not just our parents, not just our spouses, not just whoever, We are responsible for ourselves, and we cannot forget ourselves. We cannot forget the gatekeeping of our heart. We gatekeep everybody except ourselves. That's not liberty. That's slavery. We become willful slaves to everybody. But you need to be truly free. The oppression going on in society today, where women have been robbed the right to choose, are being robbed, where same-sex marriage is under attack, and where other rights are being threatened by nationalism and by religious nationalism, are unfortunately signs of long-term goals that have been in cooking since the 18th century. I would say probably the 19th century with the Second Great Awakening. And what we have now is the fruition of. But I want to encourage you that with every extreme on one end, there is an opposite reaction. And that opposite reaction is the goddess, the divine feminine, clawing for her place. And not just clawing, she's not begging. She's overthrowing, like Aradia. Aradia overthrew her captors. Aradia was arrested and put in prison, and she used her cunning and her sexual power. She didn't engage in sex, but she used her temptation, her allure as a beautiful woman to tempt the guards, and then overthrew them and overpowered them, and she escaped. She ran. And it's in the groves of the goddess where the outlaws were welcomed and given sanctuary. The goddess is the goddess of the marginalized, the goddess of the oppressed, the goddess of the people. Freedom is also embodied in the god, Roman god, Libertas, liberty, whose name became attached to Bacchus or Dionysus. And Dionysus is not the god of drunkenness. That's a misnomer. He is the god of spiritual liberation. He is the god who brings ecstasy and fulfillment and merriment. And he brings an understanding and a knowledge and an innate wisdom of such things as inner knowing of yourself, removing masks. He is the god of theater, and so in theater in ancient Greece they had masks, and he specialized in those masks. So you have the mask, the persona that hides you, but then you have the true self. He removes the masks that you put on yourself to reveal the true self. That's what he does. He is Libertas. He is Eleutherios, the liberator, the liberating one. That is the God that I serve. I serve the liberating one. And I'm here to tell you that liberty and freedom are yours. They're yours to claim. And God blesses it. There is nothing more sacred than yourself. There is nothing more holy than yourself. There is nothing more whole and more complete. And yes, we are on a journey of completion. And yes, we are on a journey of understanding and self-discovery. But you must understand that you are sacred. You are set apart. Literally, the word sacredness means set apart. You are set apart and you are consecrated from birth to understand that you as a human being are meant to enjoy this planet, this earth, this pleasure, this plane of existence in all of its wonderful glory. And you are meant to give and not just give, but receive and receive back. It's reciprocity. The gods taught humanity how to do reciprocity. We do it to the gods in the craft. We give worship and blessings and offerings, and they in turn give to us. We have to learn how to receive their magic as much as we give it. So it's the same with humanity. We have to learn how to give to humanity, and we have to learn how to receive from humanity. And it's ingrained in us, in our society, in this American society, capitalistic society, to give, and receive nothing in return. Oh no, I can't possibly receive that. But it's important. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for inviting me to your home. I want to thank you for Philip and his team. I want to thank you for their patience. I want to thank you for Scott and Becky, for People of Diversity. And I want to thank our musical guests. And I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. Blessed be.
Thank you, Miss Donna. Amazing as usual. We are so grateful for all that you do and how you play. Oracle, same. Thank you, my brother. Just an amazing talk. Thank you for both enlightening us and sharing your heart with us. We are forever grateful. Oracle was there when we started this show and has been with us the whole time. If you would like to join us in this endeavor, www.peopleofdiversity.org is how you get to play with us. Morning service, right after the morning service, 11:45 to 12:15 is our deep dive. Oracle usually tries to join us.
That's true.
So we can look forward to possibly seeing him. If not, we will be there. Seeing each other with our own eyes and checking in and talking and sharing. 5:45 is the evening service. It's the morning service replayed. It's also what we pin to the top of the page so that you can go back and check it out or send a friend if you think they might find it interesting. I think that's all I know. Oh no, Will Davis and Bob and Shannon will be giving the service next week. And again, the topic will be freedom.
And we also want to say thank you to Philip.
Oh.
Philip Lupo. He's just so good at this and takes all these pieces and parts and puts them together and turns it into a service and gets it on. Facebook's a nightmare sometimes, and they're getting ready to change things again. So yeah.
Yep.
So
look for changes.
But he keeps up with it and helps us keep going. So thank you, Philip. If y'all have needs in this kind of world out there, whether they be virtual or in person, give Philip a shout and he will be able to help you out. So, okay. As Scott said before, www.peopleofdiversity.org is our website. There is a donate button in the middle of that first page. Just go there and join the family financially. We appreciate it. And we pay our speakers, we pay our musicians, we pay Philip and his team. And so there are expenses to this, even though it's virtual. And we appreciate every cent that gets sent in. So let's take a moment and take a deep breath. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for the abundance that comes to the pod. Thank you for the abundance that the pod sends out. We are so grateful for every one of our speakers, every one of our musicians, for our technical team, and for every person that watches and puts their heart into this effort, because we know we are making ripples around the world. And we are so grateful. Amen. Okay, last thing, we're going to do our energetic healing circle. If you know people, places, situations, whatever, that could use some extra love right now, bring them to the front of your mind, picture them, place them in this circle, because we are all connected. Send your energy out. We are all connected. It's all energy. So we're going to listen to this last song and open up. Send your energy out, but also remember to receive some of this love, because it's coming at you, and it'll make a difference. You'll feel it. So believe it and you will feel it. So we thank you for being with us this week, and have a great week. Maybe we'll see you in the deep dive, or tonight on Facebook Live at 5:45, or next week. So thank you.
Have a great week.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love.